Hello everyone, this is Жанна Бугибаевна, and let's start our lesson. Today we are going to deal with grammar, present simple tense. So here we are going to learn the form, the formulation, the rules, and some practice. If you are ready, let's get started. First of all, read these kind of sentences. So here is, I'm going to tell about myself in short sentences. For example, I live in Nur-Sultan. I go to work. I work very hard. I have a family. I have 2 sons. I teach English. I also do business. I have different hobbies. I like different games. I often play chess. So guys, in these sentences, I use present simple tense. And the question for you, how can we make a present simple tense? The formulation of present simple. So, well, let's look at this formulation of present simple. As we know, the sentences are positive, negative, and question should be. So in the positive sentences, in the affirmative sentences, the verb preceded by I, you, we, they, yeah, and he, she, it plus verb plus es or s. So it means we add s or es at the end of the verb. For example, I play football. She likes ice cream. So here, she, after she, we add verb and plus s. In a negative form, we use auxiliary verb do and does. The formulation is I, you, we, they plus do not or don't plus verb. And he, she, it plus does not or doesn't plus verb. So here is an example. I don't smoke. He doesn't like coffee. Question form. When we put a question, the formulation should be like this. The what, why, when, it is before the do or does, that's auxiliary verb, plus I, you, we, they, or he, she, it, and plus verb. So here's an example. Do you like music? Yes, I do. Where does Chris live? He lives in New York. So here we have illustrated the formulation of the present simple with the verb work. So affirmative sentence, I work, you work, he, she works. Here should be she, there is mistaken. We work, they work. In negative form, do plus not. I don't work, you don't work, he, she doesn't work, we don't work, they don't work. In a question, do I work? Do you work? Does he or she work? Do we work? Do they work? So when we use the present simple, the first thing is the routines and habits. When the activity is actually repeated. For example, I play tennis on the weekends. Or shops open every morning at 7 a.m. So the action is happened every morning at 7 a.m. It means it's routine. The second thing, facts and truths. For example, water boils at 100 degrees. Or Nur Sultan is the capital of Kazakhstan. So it's a truth and it's a fact that everybody knows that the water boils at 100 degrees and the Nur Sultan is the capital of our country. Clear? Scheduled events. For example, the train leaves at 8 p.m. or the English class begins at 7 a.m. So the event, the event is scheduled, that everybody knows. Or the last one, demonstrations, series of events, or commentary. For example, imagine that you broke your computer in the office and you ask for help, and you're explaining your action like this. I double click on the text to highlight it, and then I click on the delete button, and so on. So here you don't use the present continuous or present perfect, just use the present simple. So you don't say like I'm clicking on the text to highlighting it, yeah? Just we use the present simple. So present simple spelling rules. So most verbs takes S in the third person singular. It is he, she, it. So the first rule is after the letters SS, SH, CH, X, and O, we add ES. So for example, I miss, he misses. I finish, he finishes. I watch, he watches. I mix, he mixes. I go, he goes. Second one, a consonant plus Y. For example, we omit the Y and add IES to the end of the verb. I study, he studies. I cry, he cries. So look at this word, how it is changed. Okay. Number 3, a vowel plus Y, the letter Y. We just add S. That is very simple. I play, he plays. Here are some exceptions, that the common verbs that are only used in the simple form. It means in the present simple only. We cannot use it in the continuous form. For example, I love you. Yeah, I love it. We don't say I'm loving you. So these kind of verbs here, the common verbs, believe, doubt, feel, imagine, know, like, love, prefer, realize, recognize, remember, see, suppose, think, understand, want, wish, and etc. These kind of verbs used only in present simple tense. For example, this chocolate cake is nice. I want another piece, please. So here we cannot say I'm wanting another piece, please. Just I want another piece, please. So time markers or time expressions that we use in the present simple tense. These are words helps us to recognize what kind of tense it is. For example, rarely, every day, usually, sometimes, always, never, often, every day, every morning, every evening, every weekend, for example. So these kind of time expressions we use in present simple. So, for example, he rarely visits his grandparents. I never buy comics. We often go to mountains in summer. She always carries an umbrella. Every day I get up at 8 in the morning. Usually he arrives at 3:30. Sometimes I read foreign periodicals. So in these sentences, we use time markers or time expressions and we recognize that is present simple tense. So if you understand, let's practice the present simple tense. So here I'll give you 15 sentences and you have to circle the correct answer. So for example, here in the first sentence, I play tennis every afternoon. So which verb you can choose, plays or play? Yes, I play tennis every afternoon. Second one, my parents lives in Ramat Gan. So which one should be correct? Live or lives? Of course, my parents live in Ramat Gan. So other sentences I'll give you for you to do it yourself. The next practice is also here are some questions for you and you have to answer it in a present simple tense. The first sentence is, what time do you usually go to bed? So you may answer like this, I usually go to bed at 10 o'clock p.m. Or your other answer should be here. Second, what time do you usually get up in the mornings? What do you usually have for breakfast? What do you often have for lunch? What do you usually watch on TV? It means what kind of programs or TV series you watch usually. Where do you sometimes go shopping? What kind of books or magazines do you often read? What kind of music do you sometimes listen to? How do you often relax in your free time? What kinds of clothes do you often wear? How do you usually come to class? Bus? Taxi? How do you sometimes practice English at home? How many hours do you usually spend online? Where do you live? What do you sometimes do on weekends? How many hours each week do you exercise? So I'll give you 5 minutes to do it. Write down your answers and send me by email. So that is all for today. Thank you very much for your attention. See you next week.